It's absolutely crazy to think that Terreign, as you see it now at this present moment in time, is 6 months old. And the brand actually kind of started, well, in 2022, really, was when the very first kind of seeds of this idea of about this brand kind of come to fruition, although at the time there was really no brand. But to take it right back to the start, as an absolutely passionate surfer, and we'll come on to my angling in a little bit, I'm sure, I was out surfing in Portugal and I actually needed a pair of board shorts. I won't bore you with it because you're probably not surf fans. But anyway, the pair of shorts I wanted was right next to another pair of shorts, and one of them was made from 100% recycled materials. The other was standard. I wanted the recycled ones because I'd never seen that option available before, and then essentially had a heart attack when I seen it was £100 more. And kind of that little seed kind of was planted in my head about, well, can we use recycled materials in one way, shape or another within a product in angling, not necessarily even clothing at that point, because as an angler all of my life, I spent probably way too much time out on the bank, if that's such a thing. All my childhood was fishing. I fished since I was like 8 years old, all the way through. I've lived and breathed carp fishing. My jobs previously have been fishing related and carp fishing, and I absolutely love nature. And I think as a surfer as well, you kind of start to see stuff in a different light when you're out in the ocean and you're paddling around and there's plastic bottles everywhere. So the idea of using something that we naturally use and give something back and make something good out of it was something that I was super passionate about. And as anglers and essentially outdoor enthusiasts that we are, we love being outside. So we're kind of, if the opportunity presents itself, obliged to be able to do something to better our environment. And I think that's where the idea of wanting to use recycled materials came from. But we can't knock the industry for not using recycled or knock anyone for not wearing recycled, because at the time it just simply did not exist. And that was kind of where that first sort of seed came from of, okay, can we produce a product that was made from 100% recycled materials, ethically crafted, because to me that was really important, and still deliver absolutely top-notch quality. And that's kind of the journey we started on. So I had a nose operation after that surfing trip that I talked about, and I started working on a logo. I knew from my research that clothing was probably going to be the best route to go down. And by no means was clothing probably the first choice. As I've said, working in angling forever and been in angling forever, I have seen waves and waves of amazing companies come and go in the clothing industry that have got exceptionally good design, really good quality. It is a tough market to crack in a very tough industry, which is the angling industry, which I think for people, maybe like yourself, that's not in angling, you think it's big, but actually when you work within angling, it's quite a small, tight-knit community. So to kind of crack that was always going to be tricky, but that was kind of where we went. And after the surfing trip, I had a nose operation and I started working on logos and ideas. And I won't go into too much detail, but Emily at 8'3" did a simply phenomenal job at making the logo. And if you have a look at it, you will be able to see that there are lots of resembling factors in that logo that you probably haven't even noticed. So if you take the circle that sits around the icon, that resembles our commitment to sustainability as a brand. That represents the earth. The hooks either side on what you could say like the point section represents angling hooks. That's what the barbs are there for, because again, that's the industry that we're in and that's where the brand originated. And then the central part represents the mountain range, because again, our mantra is rule the elements, which is exactly what our brand is targeted at, is people that want to be outside. And then underneath it, you've got the flat, which represents land, and then the water is the curvy bit, because again, we spend a hell of a lot of time around water. And if you do look really closely in the negative space between the land and the hooks, you will actually see a mountain peak in there, and that will come on to where we want to be as a brand in the big distant future. So essentially, had the nose operation, was at home for 2 weeks, contacted Emily, and then before we knew it, we had the icon as you know it today. And then it was about trying to find someone that would take me seriously. You know, having had limited knowledge of how the clothing industry works, my uncle had a clothing brand. He used to print his own stuff on demand, stuff like that. Essentially, what most brands tend to do, especially on a smaller level, is you will buy a product out of a catalogue and then you will brand that product however you want, and you will buy it predominantly from somewhere like Pakistan or someone like that. And generally speaking, that's how most product companies will have to start. The difficulty that we had was when you're looking to use something that's so innovative like recycled material, that just does not exist. So I ended up spending colossal amounts of time reaching out to people all over the world to try and find out if this kind of, at the time, which was a pipe dream, if it was even financially viable or even possible. I remember having calls with people in Guatemala and India, Pakistan, China, even Russia, just to try and find someone that can make it. And then I think through absolute pure and utter persistence, I managed to find someone that would have a conversation with me. And to be honest, I definitely sold it out to be, or I definitely sold it that I had much more money to invest than I actually had, just to try and get my foot in the door. But we got to the point where I now had somebody, I didn't know the quality, but I had someone that was willing to work with me to be able to produce a product that nobody else was producing. Nobody in angling, I can't be certain of it right this moment, but especially up until at least a month ago, nobody in angling has got a 100% recycled product. There are very few even in the world. And if you look at the actual stats, less than 1% of the entire garment production in the world is recycled materials. And 1% is the lowest parameter that can go to, so it's probably even less. So we started on that journey of let's create some products. And kind of that was the start of what has now been as a brand, our biggest asset, which is that we take people that have got phenomenal ideas and we involve them, and we've created such an amazing community that the people around us and a part of the family, like the people we've got here today at Swan Valley, they've created the brand. And that's kind of got us to the point where we are today. And that started from the very start. Having kind of worked in a magnitude of management roles, I would say that I've been mildly successful. And that's not because I'm a good manager. It's just I've got a strange and rare ability to be able to create really good teams of people, because no one's the best at everything. And I think the biggest thing that we had that catapulted us and gave us a really good start was through my connections with the angling industry. I managed to bring some people in. Bearing in mind at this point, we had no product really. It was a pipe dream. It was an idea. And I started to listen to what they were saying from the very early days. And this is transcended through the whole of the brand, even up to this very single moment. Even today, I've had a message from a customer that has never bought a product from us yet, suggesting that we look at this option because he thinks that this is the way the garment's going to go. Now, no other brand would even take notice, but I already have, and the wheels are already in motion. So we had people like Joe at the time was working up Carpology. I'd fished with Joe before. He was involved. Some really close friends like Ben and Dave. Wazza was there. Dan. All these guys were really part of that kind of nucleus of Terreign at the start that was kind of helping us develop. And then taking ideas to what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And then I was kind of mixing that in with, well, what can we get? What can't we get? How much money can I put in? Because that's what it comes down to. And then we really started to see some samples coming through from different manufacturers from all over the world. And it soon became clear that if you give the manufacturers free rein, you never quite get what you want. So the very costly process of going and getting fabric made for us is what we had to do. And that is exactly where the Trico fabric was born. I'm not going to give the exact specification of the fabric because maybe one day it'd be like the Coca-Cola recipe or something like that. But you take materials that are readily available, like 100% recycled polyester, which is recycled plastics that come from a variety of sources, whether it be single-use plastics, recycled ocean plastics, loads of different options. If you go down that route, when we have a liner, because we are fishing, If you go down that route, for example, the garments kind of feel a bit plasticky. And then if you go down the route of 100% recycled cottons, you can come into issues with discoloration, because essentially if you want to say a black product, you will take loads of different black cottons from all over the place, or offcuts or whatever. You blend it together into one, so you might find that there's colour changes. So it was kind of an extreme one end to the other. So what we looked to do, and through multiple samples, multiple testings, is we created what is the Trico fabric, which is our unique blend of what I genuinely believe to be the perfect balance when it comes to recycled materials. It gives you everything that you want from a garment. It gives you amazing warmth, but it gives you still incredible softness. It gives you longevity, so it doesn't fade or it doesn't shrink. All of these things kind of went into the development to get us to the point where we are today. And it's mad to think that the very first Trico fabric that we did is now ever so slightly different to the one that we've got right now, just because we've had development in the fabric worlds that have allowed us to kind of go along with it, if that makes any sense. So we've now got a fabric that's really good. We've got a really good core team of people that are really involved, are advising, and you'll notice that probably throughout this, however long it lasts, I always refer to everything as we, because the brand itself is a collective of everybody. There are so many people that are invested in it that it can't be an I, because it's more than that. So we were working towards getting to that point, and this was all in late 2022. You know, we're now in 2024, and then it took a year of, like I said, going through that fabric, that development, designs, all of that sort of stuff. Kind of took a year just to get it right. Any of the guys remember we were going to launch in October of 2023. We were going to launch. And then we had an issue, and then we were going to go November, and then I pulled the plug completely. And then, we launched Terreign as it is right now in March 15th, 2024. And it has been crazy, to be honest. It's been, obviously like anything, it's been massive highs. I wouldn't really say any massive lows, because we kind of knew it was coming. And we've bought some products out that have been phenomenal, and I never, ever, ever expected it to kind of grow the way that it's grown, if that makes any sense. But again, I think to get it to where it is today, and we're no means, we're really small. The brand's minuscule. We're 6 months old. We're in our infancy, but everything that I set out that I wanted to do, I kind of feel like we've laid those foundations now. We have a product that is fully sustainable, that no one else has. We have a product that is made from 100% recycled material that nobody else does. And we're already changing the perception of recycled materials and sustainability within the angling industry, which is huge. We have a team of people that are advising us that genuinely feel like, because they do, that they add value to our brand. We've got a community page on WhatsApp, and the stuff that goes in there is insane. Like, most of the features that you will see on the products, whether it be the fur in the hoods or in the pouches, that has all come from the people that are involved in the brand. And this isn't people that we've given stuff to. This is people that have been invested in what we're trying to achieve, want to feel part of something, but most importantly, feel valued. They're the people that have had the biggest kind of impact on where we are today. I remember, to go off piste a little bit, I remember designing the joggers, and I was quite happy that I designed them really well. We put them into the chat, just about to pull the trigger to order them, and I can't remember who it was. Someone was like, "You're not going to put a zip pocket on them joggers?" And I was like, never even thought about it. And literally minutes away from the order being placed, whole design gets changed, zips go on the joggers, and I think that kind of was the start of that collaborative culture that we've got now. Like, even the cargos, which are, in my opinion, as of right this second, we have a new product coming, these cargos are the best product that we sell. These have been completely and utterly designed by the team. Everything that you see, the locations of the pockets, where the embroidery goes, everything's been done and decided by the team that are on our WhatsApp group. this is not just a single person operation. Everyone's got input, and I think that's why things have gone the way they've gone, and we've managed to bring out some really good products, do something different, like I said, with the fleece and the hood. And as we learn and we adapt, we start to see that, do you know what? People like variety, people like change, and people like something that's quite kind of unique. So when we first went down the route of ordering stock, it cost a ton load more than I ever thought it would. But when we went down that route, we were having the garments made overseas, and then we were stocking them like you and anyone else. Maybe it was a crazy decision, but I made the decision to get a warehouse and bring all of the printing in-house and finishing in the UK, because I felt it would give us a unique edge over everybody else to be able to produce design faster and give people the opportunity to have something that was unique. And I think the Moonlight design that we've just done, which hopefully with the powers of editing you'll be seeing over the screen now, this limited edition design was exactly that. And that was the first one that we printed in-house, and it's gone down a storm and people love it. So by bringing everything in-house now means that we can make designs exactly how we want them. We can manage the quality of the product, which is super important to us, and the printing quality, and be reactive to trends and stuff like that. And that's probably why we've had such a big interest in the custom stuff that we do. And we've worked with some really big brands already that we've done custom stuff for. We've done custom stuff for a big quartz manufacturer. Multiple fishing brands have used us. One very, very big fishing brand is just about to launch with a clothing collection from us. And again, much more smaller brands. And we can even do something bespoke, one of one if you want it, because now it's all printed in-house, which is really, really good. If you do want to use customs through us or have anything bespokely done for your business or your syndicate or any other reason you want any garments made, what essentially that we do is we use the exact same blank that we use on all of our products. The difference being is it's just not finished in the same way that a normal Terreign product would be. So there's no logos on the back, there's no logo on the front, but what you still get is you still get all of those really premium quality pieces that you get, like the metal engraved logos that will say Terreign. You'll get the side tags, the bottom tags. You'll get all of the finishing inside the garments, all of the neck sort of tape. That all comes as standard, and we essentially will brand it however you want. And yes, you do get the recycled fleece in the hoods and the pouches as well. That all comes as standard, and we'll finish it. So just look at us like we're like a print shop. Difference being is that the blank's 100% recycled, sustainable, and you'll have it however you want. And yeah, if you want us to do something for you, like I said, it's not something we advertise now, just because it is incredibly busy already. Just drop us a message, and we'll run you through some pricing and give you some options from there. So it brings us up to date where we are now, 6 months in, and what an amazing journey it's been on. We've had over 750 orders, 150 consecutive 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, which is still baffling now that many people have taken the time to review our products, and we're only getting started. But we've got a few amazing products in our range, depending on what you're looking at. Obviously, all of our hoodies have been really, really popular. I've alluded to it a couple of times. Having the fleece inside the hoods and the pouches is something that people really love. We've got the T-shirts, the cargos, my absolute favourite product. These are, as I've said, phenomenal. Like genuinely, the price point on these is ridiculous. Not to divulge too much into the detail, but the factory that we use to make these are one of the longest standing, most prestigious sustainable factories in the world. They make a very similar trouser to this, not made out of recycled products, for a big outdoor company that retail these trousers at £160, and ours are only £54.99 to £60 depending on when you're viewing it. So the price point is way too cheap. They should be a lot more. But yeah, these are phenomenal. The hats are also made of 100% recycled material, and we've got some really, really sick products coming in the future, which includes probably the most anticipated product. And we've definitely made a mistake on this one. We have got a fully winterized hoodie and jogger coming, which is full fleece all the way through. It is insane. Like, I tested it, and when it got to March, I had to take it off. It is the most luxurious, cozy, softest thing you'll ever wear. the heat retention is incredible. So if you're in the market for something that's simply out of this world that you've never seen before, that is the product. And I think that's going to be my favourite product that we do. Maybe it is something sort of certainly different. And we will always look to bring out new designs. Right now, we've just launched burgundy and grey in all of our designs. We've then got brown come in, navy come in. No point boring you. We've got a lot coming, as we know that you guys as our customers and hopefully as part of our family and our community, you like variety, and we can run through as many different designs as we can just to make sure that we get something that keeps it unique and also fresh. So I suppose the next obvious question is, or as the question that Joe's asked behind the camera, is where do I see the brand in 5 years from now? And the honest answer is I have no idea. The main thing that we need to achieve outside of selling products, which obviously keeps the brand alive, is that we need to continue our pioneering efforts in bringing the best quality of recycled materials to the market. Hopefully, we'll encourage change from other brands to do the same and show that it's possible. Although it would be a competition to us, actually, in the bigger picture, that's by far more important that people have got the option to wear something that's sustainable and it is really, really good quality. I would love to have increased the community and family members. I think we've probably got 80 to 100 people on a WhatsApp group. Does get a bit crazy sometimes, but there are nuggets of gold that always come from it, like the socials we've got. I would love to be able to have a really big community. We might have to segment it a little bit into different areas, but I'd love to have that. And yeah, just continue bringing really good quality products to the market that people absolutely love, and become a household name brand in the outdoor world, whether that be in angling or with the outdoor community.
How about coats?
Coats. As I'm getting wet, I'm going to talk about coats. Coats are doable in recycled materials, but unfortunately, the cost to bring a coat out is absolutely crazy. And this is me being really real now. If we do something like everything we do at Terreign, we have to do it to the best of our ability. I don't think at this very moment, in 6 months, if we bought a coat out that was £250 for a coat, that we have enough brand credibility for people to buy that. So there's no point us spending money that we don't have right now, being honest, on bringing a coat out, because I don't think it would sell. However, you've heard it here first. It is within the plan as the rain stops. We will bring a coat out. We will bring a waterproof range out. And if someone beats us to it and they get a recycled coat out first, good on you, fair play. Then we've achieved our mission and someone's gone and done it. But we will be bringing that out for sure. And it will be awesome and it will be phenomenal. And it will be tested by our team. And the exact design will be decided by the people of our community. So yeah, future one there. That will be coming at some point very, very soon. Hopefully in the next year. If for 5 years down the line we haven't bought a coat out, we're probably not going to be in existence anymore. So yeah, definitely something that's going to be coming, that's for sure. And that kind of brings us up to now, and what is a very condensed, very short video of what has been a phenomenal journey of being launched for 6 months, being alive, I suppose, or being created since 2022 in November. Brings us up to date of where we are now. Of course, everybody that buys a product from us, if they're on social media and they're happy to, we only follow our customers on social media. Now, that is against the grain, and it's for one very good reason, and as a brand that values the feedback, we want to know what you're wearing. We want to know if it's good, if it's bad, if it's indifferent, and that's why we only follow our people, because, you know, you support us by buying our products. We want to support you. And although it's slightly differently, we love nothing more than seeing your catch photos or your photos when you're out hiking, or even if it's of your dog. If you buy a product from Terreign, you become part of our family. And if you want to, you enter our community. And that is exactly the spirit that we're going to continue. And even in 5-10 years, if this video is still on YouTube, which it probably will be, even if we're the new North Face, I absolutely promise you we will have somebody that is there that will listen to your feedback and your comments and be in touch with you on social media and not take 10 weeks to respond, or in most cases never respond at all. We will always be a brand for the people that listens. That is my vowing word.